Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Um, I haven't had a video in a while, so I wanted to get an update to you. Today is April 20th. It is 22 days past my transplant. The last time I did a video, I believe, was on day 9, so it's been some time since even that video. Since that video, I think when I posted that video, I was kind of giving you a sense of what I was going through and the things I was getting challenged with, or not challenged, the obstacles I had with from the stem cell transplant. A lot of those kept continuing past that day, and a couple new ones came about. In that time frame, I basically kind of lost the ability to eat anything. I don't remember if that was in the last video. The reason why is because I was dealing with a lot of mouth issues. They got worse. It wasn't something that was ever really serious, but one of the drugs, it's called cyclosporin, that I was taking through an IV, made a lot of my gums swell to the point where it was very difficult to swallow, much less chew. So I wasn't able to get a whole lot. Obviously, energy real down, counts all down, that sort of thing. In this time to today, it's gone, and I'm hopeful that I've hit the bottom when it comes to that, and started my rise up again. And the reason I think that is because my teeth are now in good shape. My gums are in decent shape. I can chew. It got to the point where my gums were so swollen that they were starting to kind of like overlap some of my teeth, and so when I would bite down, I would bite like it would be gum to gum kind of thing, and it wasn't pleasant. But that has seems like it's been resolved largely, and I'm able to start eating again. So the last 2 3 days, I've actually started to get an appetite back too, which was another thing I was dealing with. Nothing really sounded appealing. It took a while to kind of figure out some foods and snacks that I could eat. A lot of my tastes have changed, um, hopefully just temporarily. Seemed like there for a while, all I could really taste were sweets and salty things like Cool Ranch Doritos. I couldn't taste the seasoning on the chips. So I feel like I'm pregnant in some sense, based off what I remember my wife telling me. Um, but again, slowly but surely, I've started to see some changes that are really good. Talking about my three counts, the three main counts that I have are white blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets. The way the doctor describes it to me is the total white blood cell count right now is the most important that they're trying to bring back up. Once they bring my white blood cell count, my total white blood cell count back up to a certain threshold, then they'll start to really focus in on the neutrophils, which are a type of white blood cell. So until what was it? I think it was like the 17th or maybe the 16th was the day they finally were able to measure white blood cells again in my body, which is an indication that the engraftment is working. As an indication that the stem cells that have been put into my new bone marrow are starting to produce the necessary uh, entities for my body to operate properly. And that's since that time. It seems like it went. So the first day it registered as a zero point 0.1. Normal is a 4.0, and since that time, it seemed like it was every other day. It would go from point 0.1 to point 0.2, 2 days later, point 0.3, 2 days later, point 0.4. Yesterday was the point 0.4, but today I got a point 0.6. So I'm very, very happy, very, very excited about that. They say that as soon as they start to come back, it comes back slow, but eventually it kind of gets kicked into high gear, and then they just start producing mass white blood cells. And of course, there's all different types of white blood cells. So here in the next couple of days, they'll start, instead of tracking just white blood cells, they'll track actual neutrophils, because that's what'll tell me if I'm neutropenic or not. Right now it's so low, they don't bother with it, but here soon they would. As far as my red blood cells and my platelets go, those take considerably longer to come back, and they also have a much shorter life that they spend. Platelets are like 3 to 5 days that they have a life. So I'm still going to wind up getting transfusions from red blood cells and platelets, but that's something that I don't necessarily have to be in the hospital for. The thing that I have to be in the hospital for is to protect against infections. And so, so essentially how this is going to work is eventually my white blood cell, my neutrophils are going to get to a point where they feel comfortable that my body can fend off infections, normal infections um, that you could, that are no big deal, that are a big deal to me right now. And once that happens, then I'll be released to the Hope Lodge. And once I'm at the Hope Lodge, I'll be making frequent trips back and forth to the clinic. They'll check my counts and determine whether or not I need a transfusion for red or platelets. Red takes about I would say they're spitballing like a month and a half, 2 months for them to not have to worry about that anymore. Platelets even longer, maybe like 2 months, maybe almost 3 months, which is why I'm in here for so long, or in the Hope Lodge for so long. But so far, every day that I've come in, other than dealing with a couple of little annoyances, like with the gums and so forth, um, they say it's going great. They say it's going exactly how they want it to, and I'm very, very, very thankful for that. Let's see, what else? So right now I have a tentative date as April 30th is the day that they say I could check out from here, and I would transition over to the Hope Lodge. So that means 10 days left here. I'm very much looking forward to it. It has been quite the. Oh. Sorry, there's a skip in the video. I had to pause it because the nurse came in and take some vitals. Not exactly sure where I left off, but all in all, I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine. Nausea, I've had less and less nausea. I've been able to eat more. My counts are going up. All good news. All news that I'm very thankful for. I need to try to do a little better job walking around. I have been walking every day, but I do feel maybe this is just unavoidable, but I do feel like my legs getting a little weaker, so I got to do more of that. But I'm 10 days away. To say that being in this situation is challenging is an understatement, because isolation is it's tough. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It is tough. But I'm thankful for the text messages that I received. I'm thankful for the cards that have been sent. I'm thankful for the visitors that have driven the 2.5 hours from Connecticut and spent, considerable time with me. It all makes it go by so fast. So I'm excited. I'm motivated. I got 10 days left. I've been here for about a little more than 5 weeks so far. So another 10 days. I can get through that. I can't tell you how excited I am to get the heck out of here and move on to the next spot. Because I'll be able to go outside. I'll be able to do a lot more physically, and I'll be able to be with my wife, which is I haven't seen her in over a month, yeah. So okay, so that's where I'm at. Thank you everybody for still following along with me and still supporting me and still praying and all the little things that you guys do to make this just a bit easier. I appreciate it. I miss everybody. I love everybody. I hope you guys know that. And I can't. That in every case, I don't care where you are. I just all I think about all day is being able to see you guys. Whether it's all of my friends in softball and work in Connecticut, and or it's all my family back home in Florida and beach days, or it's different places scattered around the country that there's other friends, being able to come see you and do the fun things in those cities. literally almost all I think about all day. Just getting back to a normal life. So days like this where they bring me the good news, I want to share it because it makes me feel like I'm making progress. Sometimes going through stuff like this, as long as each day, sometimes going through this, the only way to get through it is to hear positive news that, hey, you're a little better than you were yesterday. You're a little better than you were yesterday. So that's important to me. Um, and that's what's happening. So I'm very thankful. I'm very optimistic. And that's it. That's all I have. Thanks, everybody.